My best friend of 14 years stopped following me on every platform on the same night I told her I couldn't lend her $3,000. And I'm still not sure which part hurts more. I've been staring at this draft for an hour, so I'm just gonna type it out. Becca and I met freshman year of college. We were in the same terrible intro sociology class and bonded over how bad the professor was at explaining anything. She was in my wedding. I was with her in the hospital when her dad had his first cardiac event. This is not a casual friendship. This is the person I would have described last month as someone I'd do almost anything for. About a year ago, Becca went through a genuinely brutal stretch. Divorce, which was messy and expensive, followed almost immediately by a period of freelance work drying up. She's a graphic designer and the market has been hard, I know this. I watched it happen and I helped where I could, covered dinners, didn't mention money, listened to a lot of very long phone calls. I was not a bad friend during that period. I want to say that clearly. 3 weeks ago, she asked if she could borrow $3,000. She said it was for 2 months of back rent and that she had a large client project finalizing in about 6 weeks that would let her pay me back in full. She was calm when she asked, but I could hear something fragile underneath it, and I knew it had taken her a while to make that call. I didn't say no immediately. I told her I needed to think about it, which I did, for 2 days. Here's where my head went. I have that money, but it's not sitting money. It's part of an emergency fund that my husband Theo and I have been building for 3 years since he had a health scare that left us with a genuinely scary 2 months of uncertainty. That fund is not a luxury for us. It represents a specific kind of safety that we worked hard to have, and that I feel almost superstitiously protective of. Theo said it was my decision, and he meant it, but I also know how he feels about the fund, and I know he would spend months quietly anxious if we dipped into it. The 6-week timeline also worried me. The large client project was real, I think, but Becca has mentioned finalizing projects before, and the timelines have a way of stretching. I didn't say that to her. I should probably have said that to her. I called her back and told her I couldn't do it. I said I loved her, and I was sorry, and that I wished I was in a different position. She was quiet for a moment, and then said she understood, and we hung up, and it felt okay. Sad, but okay. That night she unfollowed me on Instagram, Twitter, and we're no longer friends on Facebook. I noticed the next morning when I went to send her a reel I'd saved because it reminded me of an inside joke we have. I sat with my phone in my hand for a long time. I texted her and said I'd noticed and asked if she wanted to talk. She left it on read for 4 days and then sent back a message that said she needed some space and that she wasn't angry, she just needed to recalibrate. I have read that text so many times trying to find the version of it that doesn't feel like a door closing. My sister thinks Becca's reaction is telling and that a real friend doesn't punish you for a financial boundary. My husband was gentler about it, but basically agrees. My coworker Simone, who has known Becca through me for years, said I should have just lent her the money and that $3,000 is not worth a 14-year friendship. I keep thinking about that framing, that I made a calculation and the friendship came up short. That's not how it felt from the inside. From the inside, it felt like I was protecting something that I'd also worked hard to build and that I had a right to protect. But I understand how it looked from her side. She was drowning and she asked me for a rope and I said I needed the rope. I also keep thinking about whether I should have just said yes without thinking this hard. Whether the 2 days of deliberation is its own kind of answer about where I am. A different version of me, maybe a better one, doesn't hesitate. Becca hasn't reached back out. I haven't pushed after the text she sent. We are in this strange suspended state where 14 years of history is just sitting there between us. Not quite broken, but not okay either. I bought her birthday present in advance 2 months ago. It's still in the bag in my closet. Her birthday is in 6 weeks. Am I the asshole for refusing to lend her the money?